So, hi Eden, how are you doing?
I'm okay, thank you, Dara. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Okay, so let's start talking about your art. So, who have you made this gift of art for?
I've made this for Mary, who's a local at Cheetham Hill and actually does sketches of the area itself.
Lovely. So, can you tell us a bit more about kind of the story, kind of who or what you're commemorating?
I'm trying to commemorate all of the people who escaped the Holocaust to come to Cheetham Hill and resided there at that time.
That's really interesting. So, how did you go about making your piece?
So it was a long process of kind of thinking different ideas, and then when we were all talking on the Zoom call as a group, splitting things out there, I had this vision of this glowing bulb like leading through the darkness being Cheetham Hill, and that's when I thought, oh great, I have an idea now, and then making it. Yeah.
Amazing. So, what does your piece look like, Eden?
It's a wooden box, and then on the outside, I've carved in the pattern that's currently on the outside of the museum, the new one, now that's been refurbished. And then on the inside, it's really dark, and there's this light bulb like pushing through the bottom, bursting through. And that's what's representing Cheetham Hill as a place and a community. And then there's a little figurine representing all of the people who escaped the Holocaust to Cheetham Hill, holding onto that light bulb to kind of represent that.
So, how is the story reflected in your artwork?
I think because I'm using the light bulb as a symbol, and then you're going to have an actual figure holding onto the light bulb, it kind of shows that connection of the story of the people coming to Cheetham Hill from the Holocaust and like clinging on to that light, that hope.
That's really lovely. And so, how do you feel about Cheetham now compared to before you started this project?
I definitely have a completely different perspective, because I've liked Cheetham Hill because it's such a culturally diverse place, but you can see how so many different people are so together in that sense of community, even though they're from completely different walks of life. And just really grateful to have had that perspective now.
Okay. So, why have you chosen to use the design from the Manchester Jewish Museum on the outside of your box?
Well, as we're all talking, and then you and Kate gave me the idea of using a box to kind of keep it all in, I thought there's such a nice thing about having a box that you kind of like handing on to somebody else, like an heirloom, like you see in like films and like you do in real life. And then kind of relating that back to the museum with the engravings, making it more special, holding memories inside of it, which is why I did that.
And so, your piece is going to Mary Book. Is there anything you'd like to say to Mary or anything you'd like to ask her?
Yes, actually, I was going to ask Mary, as somebody who lives in Cheetham Hill and uses that as their inspiration, how they feel receiving a piece from me, somebody who's kind of been more recently introduced to that whole idea. So,
Well, thanks so much, Eden. That's really interesting.
thank you, Dara.